Hello everyone, my name is Dennis Adwigo. With us to the number 45. We are from group 4. We would like to explain to you about suprasegmentals. In linguistics, we have what are called suprasegmentals, or prosodic features. These include elements like intonation, stress, and duration in speech. Suprasegmentals operate above the level of individual sounds or segmentals. What this means is, we can identify individual sounds. There are other factors that help us change meaning or emphasize certain things in our speech, and these are what we call suprasegmentals. For example, when we say the same sentence but with different stress or intonation, the meaning can change. A simple example would be saying the sentence "I don't know." If we stress the word "I," it could suggest that I don't know, but maybe someone else does. However, if we stress the word "don't," it emphasizes that I really don't know at all. In addition to stress, we also have intonation, which is the pitch pattern of our voice when we speak. In many languages, including English, intonation can change the meaning of a sentence. Think about the difference between a statement and a question. If you say, "You have eaten already," it sounds like a regular statement. But if you put rice at the end, "You have eaten already," it becomes a question. This is an example how suprasegmental function in everyday communication. Then there is duration, which refers to the length of a sound. In some languages, duration is crucial because it can distinguish meaning between words. Take Japanese, for instance. The length of a vowel or consonant can completely change the meaning of a word. This shows how important it is to pay attention to this feature in speech. So, in summary, suprasegmentals are aspects of language that involve elements like intonation, stress, and duration, which help us convey meaning beyond individual sound. They work to add additional layers of meaning, distinguish similar sounding words, or give emphasis in our communication. To understand this feature better, we use a very useful tool called the International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA. The IPA was developed to represent the sound of different languages around the world, including sounds that don't exist in English or other common languages. The IPA helps to solve the problem of ambiguity that author writers is displaying, especially in a language like English, where one letter can represent multiple sounds. A simple example is the letter A in the word cat, father, and about. All of them use different sounds. The IPA assigns one symbol for each distinct sound, making it more consistent and easier to understand, especially when studying phonetics.
Alright, thanks to Figo. My name is Ahmad Gizi Ramadan and my last student number is 26. Let's continue to the next material. I will explain about pitch. In linguistics, one of the key suprasegmentals features, we talk about is pitch. So what exactly is pitch? Well, pitch is how high or low a sound seems to the listener, and it's closely related to the fundamental frequency, which is the rate at which our vocal cords vibrate when we speak. The faster the vocal cord vibrate, the higher the pitch, and vice versa. Now, pitch plays a crucial role in distinguishing meaning in speech. In English, for instance, pitch is often used to change the function of the sentence, whether it's a question, a statement, or an expression of surprise. For example, let's look at the sentence, "His name is Harry." By simply changing the pitch contour, or the way the pitch moves across the sentence, we can completely change its meaning. If we say, "His name is Harry," with a rising pitch at the end, we are asking a question. But if we say, "His name is Harry," with a falling pitch, it's just a normal statement. There's also the possibility of using pitch to express surprise, like, "His name is Harry," with a slightly rising tone that indicates you are shocked or surprised by this fact. So, just by varying the pitch, we can communicate very different things even if the words themselves stay the same. This movement in pitch is called the intonation contour, and it's what allows English and many other languages to express different grammatical or emotional nuance. English is known as intonation language because pitch variation usually affects the meaning of entire phrases or sentences rather than individual words. Now, not all languages use pitch in the same way. Some languages, known as tonal languages, actually use pitch to distinguish individual words, not just sentences. Mandarin Chinese is a great example. A single syllable like ma can have four different meanings based on the pitch or tone used. For instance, when the pitch is high and steady, ma means mother. With a rising pitch, it means hemp. When it dips and then rises, it means horse. And with a falling pitch, it means skull. In these tonal languages, pitch is a part of identity of the word itself. So, it's not just about conveying emotion or questioning something. The pitch fundamentally changes the meaning of the word. To summarize it up, pitch is an incredibly versatile feature in speech. In languages like English, it helps us modify the function of sentence, whether we are asking question, making statement, or expressing emotion. But in tonal language like Mandarin, pitch is even more significant, as it helps to distinguish between entirely different words. So, understanding how pitch works is a key to understanding how different languages use tone to create meaning.
Hello everyone, my name is Dian Suci Pertiwi with last student number 52. Next, let's talk about duration. In linguistics, duration refers to the length of time a speech, sound, syllable, or word is articulated. It is one of the key features in phonetics, particularly in the study of prosody, the rhythm, stress, and intonation of speech. The length of a sound refers to how long it lasts. Some sounds are naturally short while others can be longer. For instance, high vowels like A in sit are usually shorter than low vowels like A in cat. The surrounding sounds in a word can also affect the length of a sound. In English, vowels are longer before voiced consonants like D than before voiceless ones like T. For example, the E sound in need is longer than in neat. However, in English, stretching out a sound usually doesn't change the meaning of a word, except when stressing something. But in some languages, like Hindi, the length of a sound can change the meaning of a word. For example, in Hindi, paka means right, while pakka with a longer K means firm. This longer sound is called a geminate, and it lasts about twice as long as a normal one or singleton. To show a longer sound in writing, linguists may either write the consonant or vowel twice, as in paka, or use a colon symbol after the sound like pakka. Both ways indicate that the sound should be held for a long time when spoken. There are several ways in which duration plays a role in linguistics. The first one is vowel and consonant length. Some languages distinguish between long and short vowels or consonants. For instance, in languages like Japanese, Italian, and Finnish, vowel or consonant length can change the meaning of a word. For example, kita versus kita in Japanese, where the double E represents a longer vowel. The second one is stress and rhythm. Duration can affect stress patterns in languages. Stressed syllables often have longer duration than unstressed syllables. In some languages, longer syllables might receive stress, or the length of a syllable might depend on stress placement. The third one is prosodic timing. Duration contributes to the overall rhythm of speech. Some languages are stress-timed, like English, meaning the time between stressed syllables tends to be equal, while others are syllable-timed, like Spanish, where each syllable tends to take roughly the same amount of time. The fourth one, tempo and speaking rate. The overall duration of speech can vary depending on how fast or slow a person is speaking, which can influence the clarity or meaning of speech. A faster rate may shorten the duration of sounds and syllables. In sum, duration in linguistics affects both the phonetic and phonological properties of languages, impacting meaning, stress patterns, and overall speech rhythm.
Alright everyone, I'm Tessa Gina Amira and I will continue the explanation about stress and connected speech in linguistics. So, first one is about stress. Stress in linguistics refers to the emphasis or prominence placed on a particular part of a word or sentence. This emphasis can be achieved by raising the pitch, lengthening the sound, or making it louder than other parts. Stress is typically applied to syllables, the smallest speech units that can carry emphasis. What's interesting is that stress patterns vary depending on the language. For example, in Finnish and Hungarian, stress is always on the first syllable. In French and the Mayan language, stress always falls on last syllable. And in Polish and Swahili, the stress is on the second to last syllable. However, in languages like English, stress patterns are very unpredictable. This means that where we place stress in a word can change its meaning or function. Example, in English, we recognize at least 3 levels of stress. The first one, we have primary stress. It means we put stress on the first syllable. For example, subject. And the second one is secondary stress. It means we put stress on the second syllable. For example, banana. And the last one is unstressed. It means no stress. In English, function words like articles, prepositions, and conjunctions often have no stress. For example, the and in. The placement of stress can also change the meaning or function of a word. For example, subject with stress on the first syllable is a noun, and subject with stress on the second syllable is a verb. Now, let's move on to connected speech. So, what exactly is connected speech? Well, when we talk, we don't speak in individual separate words. Instead, we speak in a continuous stream of sounds. If you think about it, you rarely hear someone speak each word like it's on, island, with big pauses in the between. Our words tend to blend or connect with one another. This is what we call connected speech. And here we are a few key processes that happen when we connect our speech. Let's go through some of the most important ones. The first one is assimilation. This happens when one sound changes to become more like a neighboring sound. For example, if you say the phrase good boy quickly, the D sound in good may change slightly to sound more like a B, so it sounds like good boy. The sounds influence each other, which helps our speech flow smoothly. And the second one is elision. This is when we drop or omit a sound in connected speech. For instance, in casual conversation, instead of saying I don't know, many people may say I do know. The T in don't is dropped to make this sentence easier and faster to say. And the third one is linking. In connected speech, we also link sounds between words. This is especially common when a word ends in a consonant sound and the next word starts with a vowel sound. For example, instead of saying go out with a clear break between the words, we link them together and it sounds like go out. And the last one, we have weak forms. Certain words, especially grammatical words like and, of, or to, are advantageous in connected speech. For example, instead of saying I want to go, we may say I wanna go. The to becomes reduced in the past speech. Now, you may be wondering why do we use connected speech? Well, it's really just the natural way humans speak. It helps our speech more efficient.
Okay, now I want to talk about juncture. Juncture refers to perceptual or sometimes physical boundaries within a stream of speech that help listener segment and understand spoken language. In written language, these boundaries are typically marked by space and punctuation. However, in spoken language, these boundaries are not always explicitly pronounced but are inferred through various auditory and contextual cues. The role of juncture. Juncture is crucial for several reasons. Number one is disambiguation. In natural speech, many sequences of sound could be interpreted in multiple ways. Juncture help disambiguate this sequence by providing clues about where one word or phrase ends and another begins. With clear juncture, listeners might struggle to determine the intended meaning of an utterance. Number two is contextual interpretation. The context in which a statement is made play a significant role in understanding juncture. For example, the word sequence, narrate, could mean nitrate, nitrate, or narrate, depending on surrounding conversation and context. This contextual understanding helps listener infer the most likely interpretation. Number three, perceptual clues. Even though juncture might not always be practically present as a pause or break, listener perceive it through various auditory cues, such as pitch change, duration of sound, and subtle pause. These cues help in segmenting speech and comprehending meaning. For example of juncture in action, we have this electric and electric. Electric, this interpreted as electric, describing something related to electricity. The lack of juncture here indicates that the term is used as a single concept. For electric, with juncture separating elect and rig, listener interpreted this as electric, suggesting a choice or selection of someone named Rick for a position. The juncture clarifies that electric is verb and Rick is a noun. Next, we have that tough and that's tough. That stuff. The juncture here is crucial for understanding the phrase as that stuff, which refer to an unspecified material or object. The separation between that and stuff clarify the meaning. For that stuff, the juncture help identify that stuff. An expression indicate difficulty or strength. The lack of pause or separation affect the interpretation of the phrase. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you for watching. Leave like and comment. See you in next time. Bye.